Okay, so example number 2. What we're going to do is we're going to find theta in the triangle drawn it should say, below. So effectively what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the same trig stuff that we have been doing, except just a little bit different, okay? So we're actually going to be using some of the inverse trig ratios. So inverse, different to reciprocal. Okay, so we're going to be using some of the inverse trig functions. So to do so, let's have a look and see what we've got. So top of my page, always going to start off by writing, as soon as you see a right angle triangle with a missing something missing, it says find SOHCAHTOA. Okay, this time we've got square root of 27 over 3. Okay, so that seems pretty easy. So let's jump in and do it. We've got an opposite and adjacent in this case. Okay, so no hypotenuse, so we must be doing TOA, which is tan. So tan of theta is equal to square root of 27 on 3. Okay, the square root of 27 on 3. So automatically we could jump straight into a calculator and put in a number, and it would spit out the value that tan of theta is equal to 60. But knowing that 60 degrees is one of our trigonometric ratios, we can probably work out what that is without actually having to resort to a calculator. So we can actually do this in our head. You'd probably never think in your life that you'd be solving trig ratios and finding what a trig value is in your head, but it can be done. So all we need to do is we just need to simplify, well, what is this the right hand side? Okay. Well, root 27 over 3. Well, let's rewrite the square root of 27 as the square root of 9 times the square root of 3 over 3. Okay, pretty easy. So tan theta is equal to 3 root 3 on 3. Okay, also pretty easy. Now we can see that we've got root 3 on the top and root 3 on the bottom. So those guys cancel out, and that leaves me with tan theta is equal to the square root of 3. Now, we want to find what theta is, okay? We don't want tan theta, we want theta. Okay, so there's a little bit more to go. But going back to our second video when we did the exact values, we know what tan theta, or we know when tan theta is equal to square root of 3. So we can write, we know tan theta is equal to root 3 when theta is equal to what? So which exact value? So 30, 45 degrees, or 60 degrees was the tan, or was it when tan was equal to the square root of 3? So going back to it, you'll find that it was actually 60 degrees. And look at that, we've done a whole trig problem without actually picking up our calculator. Now, alternatively, if you didn't recognize that that was a exact value, okay, so I should say that if you can simplify the surd, do it straight away. You might find that it appears that it's going to be nice and easy. But if you can't see the surd, okay, so what you can do instead is you can say, okay, well, tan theta is equal to the square root of 27 over 3. So if you can't see how to simplify that, okay, what we do is to get rid of tan on the left-hand side, we need to do the inverse. Okay, so remember, if I apply an inverse, so remember this little thing that we did when we did inverse functions? So f of minus 1 of f of x, what was this equal to? Hoping some of you are jumping up and down saying, well, that's equal to x. So if I apply the inverse tan to tan of theta, that should just end up with theta. And that's actually the theory behind why we do this inverse tan to both sides. Because when you apply the inverse function to a function, you just get that value back out from that was inside the value to begin with. Okay, so we get that theta back out. So going back to this, shift tan on your calculator gets you the inverse tan. And all you have to do is put the square root of 27 over 3 into your calculator, pump that number in, and you get theta is equal to 60 degrees, okay? So I've shown you both ways because you might not just be given an exact value way, you might be given a number or a value that won't produce a degree that is an exact value. So it might spit out something that's like 50 degrees or 89 degrees, like something that we're not used to, okay? But with that being said, it's not the only way to do it. You might also be given something that's really nice to do as well. Anyway, that's the last of these videos, and I'll see you guys for the next lesson.